What's up, people? It's Friday, June 13th. Friday the 13th. There's some shit going on today in the world, with the wars starting that a lot of people are talking about. Apparently, Iran is firing missiles back at Israel, right? Israel launched missiles at them the other day, but war, nonetheless. And I'm going to try to relate this to some of my theory, my view, my belief that we are in hell, and how this relates. All right, so first off, I believe that we create this reality. Right? It's basically just science. Like, nothing you see or observe exists until you observe it. The observer is what causes it to take form. So if we're creating this reality, everything we get is exactly what we're asking for. Like, every piece of it is coming from the observer. So this reality is actually a reflection of what is in our hearts. Right? I'm talking the collective, on the grand scheme of things. Maybe not you individually. We'll get to that part. So I see hell as a mirror, right? You're basically, it's like a lot of the stories say, like about being weighed against your own heart. Like, the word weighed comes from I, to see, W-E-Y-D. It also, that's what it means. It means to see. It means I, right? And so does weight. When you think weight, it's like how you measure time, like with a watch, right? And you'll see how the word see relates to the word mirror, because see comes from mer, actually comes from older word mirror, M-E-R-E, mirror, which makes sense because it's the sea, right? There's a reflection in the sea, in the water. You can see yourself. It's where we get mirror. But it also means horror, like as in a nightmare. It means water, like marina, or a mare, like as in a horrible experience. And whores was also who gets mare, who get horse, right? And I believe it's also where we get the word hours, as in mine and yours, hours, the mirror, the hours, the time, which these words you can follow. I'm probably not going to get there right now. It's not like really the point of this, but you can get all the way to the word world, to wind, to weave, to a word like text, textiles, to weave, wind. Trees, the same word you get from the original word for a tree. It's like G-Y-W-D-D. Wood, good, means to weave. And then you get wood into things like, what would you do, right? Wood, those same words lead into words like ponder. You can get from that word, the original word for trees, to ponder, to pine, to wonder, to wander. And a wand, right? Like a wand comes from the same word as stick, which is wood. It comes from the same word as wood and tree. They're all technically all the same word. But anyway, and yeah, you can get to things like parts of the Bible about removing the plank from thine own eye, right? The board, the wood. But we're not going to... I'm getting way off track because it's just such a big topic to cover. But current events, right? There's this war going on. And what have I been seeing people focused on? I spend a little bit of time, I usually look at Twitter every day, a couple times a day. I kind of see what's trending, what's popular, what's getting the most views. Same with YouTube, wants to recommend me the shit that's the most popular, like kind of see what it is. I hop on Facebook here and there. Like I see what's popular over the last few months. It's everybody's. So first of all, a lot of people are focused on Elon Musk, whether you're for or against in this going to Mars thing, right? So Mars is the god of war. Like it is. If you look into like what Mars is, it's the god of war. It's the red planet. Red usually signifies like rage and blood. Oh, and red, like word, like, you know, red actually leads to reed, right? Which is like a wind instrument, right? Grass, reeds. It also, red is what you do with a book, right? When something's booked. Booked is where you do when you put someone into prison or jail, which I believe is the same thing as hell, right? It's basically just like a prison. It's where you send the bad people. So I'm pretty sure everybody's getting exactly what they're asking for. Everybody's focused on war, the god of war, on Mars a lot. They're focused on these issues unfolding over there. Like it's like everybody's made it this big, huge issue, right? Anyway, it's deeper than that, though. It's as deep as why you see animals killing animals and stuff, other animals' babies, and eating each other and stuff. Like everything here, you gotta understand, is a reflection. It's the reality we're creating. It's a reflection of our heart. It's just simply a mirror. Time is a mirror. The world, wound, wind, the weave, the spoken text, word, a spoke, part of a wheel, right? Wound. It's a mirror. So everything is always perfect. And I'm not saying that means good or bad. Not in that way. It's perfect as in everything is always exactly what everybody's asking for. Like asking you shall receive is, I believe, 100% true. Like this world is what is in the majority's heart. That's why it's reality that we have. It can't be any other way. I mean, even according to science, this isn't even just spirituality. It can't be any other way. Right? And the word, you'll see, relates to that same mirror. Because the mirror means a horrible experience, right? A mare. And that's misery. It's also the same word, misery, right? So misery, for one thing, a misery is what a lot of people like to call a Jew, right? A derogatory thing they like to do. But I'm gonna tell you that Jew literally means you. If you look up the word and look deeper at the word, you'll find a lot of it in the word J-E. J-E and G-E are both very good words. They're basically the same word anyway, but you'll find some different meanings looking at them each way, although you'll see some commonalities as well. But Jew, or J-O-O, literally means you, and it means I, it means us, it means we, and it means the actual eye, like where your pupil is in your skull, like your eyeball. It means a lizard, right? Which is, a lot of people talk about. There's a lot of these conspiracies about lizards, I'm telling you. People think there's lizard people. And there's some people even, they'll do DMT and trip and stuff like that and think, and they experience seeing the same thing. And I say that's because it's a reflection of themselves. We all have that. We all have an R complex, or a reptilian brainstem in us. That cold-blooded kind of whatever you want to relate it to. The snake, the serpent. It is at the top of your snake, your serpent, your spine, right? It's right where it connects to the top of it. It's on the cervix, the cerv-x, right? And x is 10, right? Say 10. But anyway, 10 is the point too, the pinnacle, the peak, what you see, the peak on a scale, right? When you're being weighed, a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the peak, it's the pinnacle, the climax. It is the outcome. It's the result. It's the goal. It's the grand finale. It's what you get. Right, so that word misery is going to relate. We already relate it by the winding, right, and the weaving in text, but it's also going to relate by just the word misery. That is a meaning of mare. That is related to a promise, to be pro-miser, a promiser, pro-mise, my eyes, right, mise. It means to hoard, right? Remember, it also means a horrible experience, hoard, herd, right? Heard something, you gather it, and you also hear it. A hearing is a test or a trial. Listen, lice means to bring charges or sue, L-I-S. 10, back to Satan, or even maybe 10 commandments, a list of 10. Hearing, heard, listen, right? Promise. And a promise is literally the same as word. Like if you promise someone, you give them your word. It's my word. A promise is word. Bond, bound. Words form a sentence. Right? They end with a period, a single point, the pinnacle, the peak. They form stories. They create. It's spelling, right? It spells. Writs. Written. Down. And you see how the mirror relates to being bound to the promise, to the word. To being bound or being stuck. Much like the sword, right? Like the sword and the stone, right? The sword, or someone who is down or injured or feeling blue, right? If you're feeling blue, you'd be wind, right? Blue, wind, wind. Back to winding again, the world, wound, wound. So if you're down or grounded, right, in jail, in the mirror, you know, I find this stuff is a lot easier when I write it because I can see what I wrote before me. That's why. Now I'm starting to understand why I have such a harder time when I'm just kind of like out here walking around, because I lose track of what I go off so far that I forget where I start. And yeah, obviously when you're writing it down in front of you, that's very helpful. It makes it very easy. But the promise, right? What else is like a promise usually is signified or represented by a ring, right? Or a circle. And you can think of that as asking, you shall receive, or like a full circle of like a reflection, a mirror of it coming back, of everything that's inside of you coming back, right? the The earth is an anagram of the word heart and hearth. It relates to the hearth, the stone, right? The sword are stuck in the stone, the hearth, the heart. The world. Remember we were talking about how many words relate also. We got a lot of related to the sight, the eye, the watch, and time, right? And hearing, right? With hearing and listen. Herd, hoard, gather. Well, another word. If you're serving a sentence, you're basically repaying a debt, right? You're like people call it, like repaying a debt to society. You're paying for your crimes. Another word for being in debt is to be in arrears, in our ears, right? Another word for that would be a lien, which would be alien. Alien is a lien. And alien means to belong to another. So does a lien. It means to be held, somebody else owns it. It's held by another, to belong to another. That's also something you sign when you get a loan, right? If you're soul, alone, something lent, something borrowed, bar owed. Bar is just another name for court. That court leads back original to the same word as time, where we get time. So does yard and garden. Garden is basically just something that's fenced in or guarded. That's a guard, right? Garden. And time basically is just something that surrounds all. These words go back to the same original words that they come from. Words like czar and zara, meaning to harm, to oppress, to rule, right? A ruler is just another way to measure, right? Time is a measurement. That's what it is. Time is just a measurement. It's a measurement of how things change. Nothing really moves, they change. Right? Like, this stuff isn't moving through time. Like, we're not moving. It's always now. It is. It's always now. It's always just this moment. It's always the present. But everything is changing. Time is a measurement of how things have changed. It's basically being weighed. Seen. It's creating a scene. It's being seen. It's creating a scene. It's being planned. It's a planet, right? Planet. The scene. It's being... when you plan something, you draft it. A draft, the wind, the wind, the world, the wound. Blue. It's a blueprint. A draft. Print is a copy. A mirror image. Draft, wind, world, wound. Blueprint. It starts with the word. You can see the word relates directly to the promise and being bound, or to hoard, or to miser, demise, promise. Promise. They say it starts with the word. You're bound to the mirror, reflection of your own heart. We all are. It goes deeper when you keep looking at words. I think words are very helpful, and it may make a lot of sense when you really look at things in context, too. When you start to link this to being, to form, the words form a sentence, to being bound, and thinking about being in prison or jail, pre-sun. Jail is the same word as love. Jaol. Joyful, happy, kindred feeling, the connection between all things, kinship, romance, romantic love. It means both types, like kin and romance. It's love, jail, same word. There's something to the word innocent. Innocent. There's something to the word scent. As it links to ascension and ascent and rising, rose. It's another word for sword too, right? It's another way to look at sword is to rose. It has like a dual meaning, down or up. To be pulled out of the stone, a pull, apple, a pull. I truly believe that we're in hell. We even greet each other with it. You see when you say hello, it's a circle, the circle, the mirror. Hello. This is what we get. This is why we greet this way. When you meet, right? Meet. We're in meat suits. Cells. Our cell. Another word for cell is you sold it. When you meet, you connect, right? The word for connect. To be bound. Bind together, bond, promise. A band, right? A ring. A circle. Band together. Bond. It goes deep. I really need to get on my computer and try and make some videos with words in front of me so I can really, just be amazed at how far it can be taken and how words all mean this and how much sense it makes that that's why they mean what they mean, and how science is starting to converge and agree with these spiritual these things that are already known. They just said them in a way that people can understand. You're going to read a bunch of code or something written by a scientist on a math or something, how the equation they come up with to prove it. Nobody's going to understand that. They understand the stories. Truth is truth. Doesn't matter how you say it. I do believe there are good people here, though. I do. Just like prison. There are good people in prison. There are innocent people who got a bum deal. There are some people that were patsies or fall guys that took the blame for somebody else. There are some people that get framed. right? And there are people that were totally guilty, but after spending time in prison, they genuinely change and become good people. It's because of the reflection, right? Because it's just a mirror. The only way to change is self-reflection. Think about it, that circle. Some people have spent time reflecting and genuinely change. Matter of fact, almost everyone probably will eventually. It might not be this lifetime. It could take 2 lifetimes. It could take hundreds of lifetimes, thousands. But it's your same soul. It's still you. Different meat suit. I think eventually enough time spent reflecting on your own reflection, seeing what's in your own heart, and you'll eventually one day you kind of just stop and look at all this and say, what the hell is everybody doing? Like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Like, I no longer want to participate. Like, I don't no longer see this the same way. Like, I do, but I don't. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I see beauty, but I see the beast in everything too. I mean, sure, a tiger is beautiful, but today I saw a picture of one with a dead monkey hanging out of its mouth, walking along, and the dead monkey still had its baby clinging to it, a live baby clinging to the dead mom. Like, that's so... I mean, tigers are beautiful, but that's not beautiful, people. Nature here that's not it. Think about it. Think about it in the context of being a reflection of our own heart. Think about the stories about Kronos eating his own children. Think about the reality we're creating and how that relates. 12 hours. Whores, right? Hours of the sea, the mare. Whores. Hours. It's the same word. They go in a circle over and over and just repeat. It's just reflecting back. Even the 2 times of the day we do it, right? Like, you got midnight at night and you got noon in the day. They're just a reflection of each other. It's 12, 12, 12. Like, the number's the same. Like I said, I think there's a point when you start to just see it. Like, you've just been here enough where you don't... I don't have the desire. One thing, I don't want kids, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I don't want to bring anybody into this. Why would you want to bring someone else? But then there might be something to be said about that. Like, they need to come here, right? Like they do. Like, if you think of prison in the real sense, and if that's the only way to get someone into it, then I guess it needs to. That's like it's like a necessary evil, I suppose. Like, those people coming in, just they deserve to be here anyway, and they're probably coming whether it's from you or someone else. But I don't know. That's a whole different topic to think about. But for me, it makes me think hard about that. Like, I don't have any kids, and I think that makes it a little bit easier for me to see this reality. Because if I had kids, there's no way I would want to see that, and I don't blame anyone who does for not wanting to see that or look at like, if you... Why would you... It's one thing to think about yourself and that you're in this shitty situation. It's another thing to think that you brought your child into it. I'm sure you want them to have a good life and for this place to be happy, and you don't want them in hell. There's no way. Like, it's just, people care more about their kids than they do themselves. They would give their own lives for their kids. So that's why it's easier, I'm saying. If you don't have any kids, it's easier to see yourself in that scenario than to see... You won't want to see it, right? In a way, it's I'm gonna say, in a way, it makes you biased, because you do. You have a natural bias that's like, no matter what, you don't want that to be this, right? I think if you have a child, it would be really... You would not want to see that. You'd be biased towards it. So, but that's just one of them things. I mean, at one point in time in my life, I was getting kind of bummed that I never had kids, thinking like, maybe I'm getting old, like I should. And even just a few years ago, after I'd already decided this is hell and I didn't want to, I snapped out of it Like, I started to believe that I was wrong. I really did. I was starting to think maybe I was just wrong and it's just me and this isn't hell. But I snapped back in. I came back to, I believe I came back to my senses. I know people will think I'm crazy, but I think this world is crazy. I think it's easily observable that everything you see here is fucking crazy and cruel and horrible. We're obviously in the land of tooth and claw, of like where everything consumes each other. That's just the natural way. Everything here has to. There's no way to live here unless you consume another living thing. Everything here is just being eaten by each other over and over. It's a reflection. It's just a mirror. It's bound in a circle. We're literally shit. You literally get eaten. At one point you're going to die. You're going to decompose and be eaten by things. And they're going to shit you out. And you will turn into fertilizer, right? Fertile eyes, right? And how the eye relates to the you, to the Jew, to Jesus. Jew means Jesus, which is just is us. He's us. Sent here to pay for sin. Send his own son to pay for his sins, right? Reproduced, multiply, sending his own children back to die. Chronos, Father eating his son, his children over and over. 12 of them, 12 hours in 12 hours. I don't know, there's 12, there is 12 hours technically kind of in a day and 12 hours in a night, if you think of it that way. There's 24 hours total, but it's like 12 and 12, they're mirrors. Why was he sent, right? To repent, to pay for our sins. What's in your heart? Right? There's no way. What do they say of a lot of the teaching about Jesus? And you'll have to help me out on this because I'm not like super Christian, guys. I should read the Bible more than I do. Let's put it that way. But, right? He came to die for our sins, right? Think about all the pieces of it about this is my body, bread, about eating the bread. When you're bred, you're born. Bread, the boar, breed, sow seed, seed. The sea, the mirror. Seeded, sow, and fertilizer, man, newer, new man, right? Shit, shat, chet, chat. Chet brings new, Hebrew, new, brand new. Do over, start over. It also means love. I think it means one love. One soul love. Cell love. What else was he doing? Sow. Right? Sow. It's a soos. Soos is Latin for swine, pig, hog, swine, soos. Suze. Suze is another word for the moon and for sin. And to be sued, suing, sued, soos, sues. Bring charges, lies. Lies. L-I-S, lies. Lies and listen. lies, life, live. Live is literally in a mirror, evil, backwards. There's something about this place that I just can't. I just can't, man, anymore. I feel like something's trying to trick me all the time into like going, oh, it's just you. Oh, it's just your, you got to change your attitude. It's just, oh, it's a reflection. I mean, it is a reflection of what I see. I'm telling you that right now, right? We're just on a totally different page, probably a different way to look at it. But I'm tired of trying to justify that it's a good thing. People trying to tell me to look at, to like, to justify it, to like love it, to like embrace this. No. Nothing. I'm going to listen to my own heart. And what I sense here is sadness. It kills me when I see another animal killing another animal, even an insect killing an insect. People being shitty to each other. It's just, there's something that's changed in me, and it's deeply troubling. I feel intense sadness in this place, and I don't want to justify it anymore. I don't care. I don't care if I waste my life, if I was wrong and there's only, I'm not really wasting anything. I enjoy trying to figure out what the truth is. I still enjoy myself completely. I go out all the time and spend time in nature and stuff, and I play video games. I like to smoke weed. I like to talk to people. Certain people, anyway. They're very few, but there are some. It's not like a total loss, man. I'm telling you, it's not like, oh, like I'm in hell, it's just fucking fuck everything. I'm gonna go kill myself or something, or stop living. No. But I have a much different outlook, a different expectation, a different point of view, different way of looking at things. I just don't think at this point that I'm ever going to go back. I don't think so. Part of me wants to. It always does. It always wants to believe, everything is fine. Why wouldn't you? Who wouldn't want that? That's natural to want. Fact is, I understand that every time something makes me extremely happy, there's a good chance it's going to be taken away. And it's not really up to me all that much, man. I'm just one person. I'm just one soul here. I don't know if I can really impact the everything. You know what I mean? I mean, in some small way, yeah. But if, kind of like voting, right? Like your vote matters, but it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It does matter. I mean, especially if somebody wins or loses by one vote, surely, but it's usually by millions of them. Yours didn't really matter. It really wouldn't have made much difference if you didn't vote. But at the same time, it does, because if everybody felt like you, then there wouldn't be any there. So, it's almost like a catch-22. But that's what I believe it's like. I don't need to fight against it. I don't need to, my vote doesn't matter. I'm voting, but it doesn't matter. The majority always wins. That's what I believe. Somehow maybe we're all one, though. I do feel in some way that we're just one person, because we're divided, right, against ourselves. I do believe we are. I just don't know if I am the piece of that division that can change things. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm in that position. I'm just being honest. I don't feel like that's my role. My role, right? Now, this always relates back to the plan, to the planet, to the world, the role, the wound. But it could be. I don't think it is, but it doesn't mean it's not. I don't know. I don't know. How would I know? Sometimes I feel like I make small impacts. I feel like when I discover something for the first time ever that I didn't hear from anyone else, that it was actually original. Like every time I have original, unique thoughts, and go out and look for them, they don't seem to exist. But then sometime after, within days or months or maybe even a year, they seem to exist. It seems to be like, oh, almost like it was there all along. I do feel in some weird way I make little tiny advances in what we know. If we all are sharing one mind and we're just receivers, these meat suits are just picking up our piece of it, then somehow the main source, the main signal is incorporating that when this little piece discovers in something brand new or figures out something new, a new way to look at something. Suddenly, I think it just means everybody knows now. I mean, they might not be consciously aware of it, but now everybody is unconsciously aware of it. It's in their subconsciousness, and it can be accessed. And it's known, too, even if they don't consciously aware of it. Like, they know it. You know it. Everything we know, you know. And everything you know, we know. It's all subconsciously hidden, but we all know it. We all know everything. That's what I think. We are one. Soul, one. Somebody's got the key. Somebody holds the key. Someone needs to change. Someone needs some reflection.